everyone, my name is Nikki Haverstock. I'm a self-published author with 15 Cozy Mysteries up on Amazon, and this is the Author 2 portion of my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be posting a review for a Michelle Fox's Profitable Facebook Ads class. I will have the link to where I took it. It's possible that she is offering it at other places by the time you watch this video. So as of I took it in June 2020. It was offered at the Margie Lawson Academy. And so I will have that link down there. But if you look and it's no longer offered there, just search Michelle Fox Profitable Facebook Ads class. The class when I took it was $150 at the time I took it. It was 4 weeks. And at the end of the class, you're invited into her Facebook group for that class specifically for ongoing education. So as you know, Facebook is constantly rolling out changes, and Facebook is actually rolling out changes in a really bizarre way. I have a computer science background and I don't really understand. It's not uncommon for places to do A/B testing, but as near as I can tell, there's like an infinite array of different options, and everyone's kind of like ad interface might look different, which is a bizarre choice to me, but whatever. But that's a really useful place. I'm in the group now. I'm off Facebook at the moment, so I haven't had a lot of experience with it. I have not actually started testing. I did a very short one-day test, but I am so far behind on deadlines that babysitting ads is a huge distraction. So I like what I saw after my first day of ads. It broke even, which is difficult to do, especially on an ad that only runs for one day. In fact, I think people would normally say that's almost impossible. It didn't break even that day, but because that's a book that doesn't sell, I could tell over the next few days as I saw sales come in that these were probably people that interacted with the ad and then came back later on. Anyway, I will eventually go in and do some in-depth testing, and I will do a video, hopefully, if I remember, on my experience with running Facebook ads. But I want to talk about my experience taking the class because I think this is really useful. Facebook ads and ads in general are one of those areas that have always made me super skeptical. There is a huge number of people, I call them gurus, not affectionately. I don't think anyone uses the term guru affectionately anymore, who tell you that it's so easy to self-publish, but only make their money teaching other people how easy it is to self-publish. And that always bothers me. I am so suspicious and so skeptical in what I will actually listen to that I am probably way on the end of too skeptical and too suspicious. But early on, I got burned a few times. It wasted my time, it wasted my money, and it frustrated me. So now I only want to listen to people that I really, really hear amazing things about. And I am friends with enough authors to where I hear the behind the scenes stuff of like, yeah, I took that class and I spent several thousand and was never able to get it to work. You know, I personally know several people who have lost like $20,000 using systems that people swore were foolproof, and then they don't want to tell anyone because then everyone will say, oh, you were a fool. You clearly didn't do it right if you just trust the system and all that. So I only stick to classes that I can really believe, plus I'm really busy and I'm behind on deadlines and all that, and I'm cheap. So anyway, this was a class that made the cut for me, and I went ahead and took. First of all, there's one-on-one interaction, which is a requirement for me. For basically anything over $100 is going to be a requirement for me. The reason being that I can go get a masterclass subscription for $90 if I do it during the 2-for-1 deal, or $180 for a year if I pay for that, and I can listen to dozens and dozens of experts talk. I can also go to Facebook and listen to the foundation interviews or the off-camera show or any of these amazing interview shows, and I can listen to people talk about writing all day for free. So if you are just going to give me, if it is just a video series or just a packet of information, I'm going to be pretty strict about it. Not saying I would never do that, but I'm going to be pretty strict if there's no one-on-one interaction. That is just me personally. I'll buy a book. I'm not saying I would never do a video series. It's just, I'm going to take that into account with price. And in general, I have never paid more than $400 for a particular class, even with one-on-one interaction. to be fair, I think the longest class I've ever taken was 8 weeks. And so that is just my personal bar. I'm not saying you have to do that. If I was making $100,000 a year, I'd probably take a lot more classes, and I might be willing to pay more. And I might be able to take a swing on a class that is probably too expensive, judgment word, too expensive, but you know, I could get something useful out of it. So, but for me, hearing this class was $150, I was already like, oh, $150 ad class? This is not someone who is going to be rolling in dough telling me whatever I want to hear, which is one of my concerns. So the class does have a majority of the information comes in videos, which I kind of made it sound like I'm not into videos. I actually love videos. I especially like it when they're hosted on YouTube and you can click on them and you can speed them up, because I listen to almost all videos at 1.25. There was several week summary, and a good, what I had heard about this class that made me jump for it, even though I'm super busy, was 3 things. A good friend, well actually 4. The first is a really good friend that I trust a lot recommended it, so that's 1. The second one is that a good portion of the class is focused on marketing copy. That is so important because books are not interchangeable widgets. You are selling a product to people that know what they want. So when I say know what they want is that they know what kind of books they like and what kind of books they don't. There are people who will just read anything. I used to be one of those. I read everything. And then I got burned by a couple of books that were super depressing, super scary, just a waste of time. And I started to narrow down the genres, but I still read quite widely. So anyway, the idea that I would be developing a skill, and writing marketing copy is a little bit like writing a blurb, in that yes, you can absolutely write an amazing book and not know how to do a blurb for your book and not know how to do marketing copy. So this is a trial and error. You need to have feedback, and that's why I liked it. Third thing, this book focused, this class, I was told, focused on finding targets. That's basically, targets are like, who are you advertising to that aren't traditional. So the standard way of doing it is you find a big author in your genre. Unfortunately, not every genre has authors that are on Facebook that make good targets, and cozy mysteries, and especially para-cozy mysteries, do not really have those kind of authors. Even the authors that I know that are making 7 digits, as far as I know, are not good targets. They don't have Facebook says they're not good targets. I think they should be, but they say they're not. So finding targets, other ways to find these people is great. And then the 4th reason, and probably the biggest reason, is that the class focuses on low-cost ads. And that right there was like ding, 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 because a lot of the classes that I've heard at are like, you're going to have to put $1,000 in. Well, guess who does not have $1,000 in advertising money that they can just throw around hoping it works, hoping that by the end of it I figured it out. And so I really liked the idea of just that attitude alone. I'm like, this is it. This is, Michelle's a gal after my own heart. I really appreciate this. I'm willing to take a $150 risk on this. So I took the class. I was the only one who took the class. Now, I wasn't the only one in the class. I was just the only one who participated. I am a teacher's pet in classes. I was not like this when I was in school, but now that I am taking, it is my own money, and it is an area that I'm really interested in. I scheduled out time, several half days. I watched the videos first thing, took notes, and then scheduled several half days to do the homework. My guess is that a lot of people were following along and are putting off the homework. My recommendation is, a huge part of this class is the feedback. It was so valuable. It was so important. So go ahead and do it. Make time. Take the class when you have time to do this. So the first week you focus on ad copy. Your homework for that first week was to pull excerpts, pull review, little clips from your reviews if you already have a book out. I would recommend having a book out. But you could probably do it ahead of time. It's just you wouldn't be able to do this step. Try tags and create images. So not just your cover, but other images that could be used in ads. She'll in the class explain why that is. That homework took me the entire month. So my first attempt, I have 4 series, and I think I did it for 3 of them. My 3 main series that are still active. And so I did that. I missed the mark. About half of my images were okay. No, one third of my images were okay. The other two had various reasons. They would likely set off the, they would probably get moderated on Facebook, which she gets into. A couple of them just weren't really marketing images. And that's why you take the classes, so you can learn that. Same with my excerpts. They were good, but not great. We learned about, how to kind of rewrite these excerpts. This is something that will help me moving forward writing my new books. So that is a huge issue. But we did all that the first week, and then we get into the nitty gritty of the actual Facebook, setting up an ad, what your options are, what she suggests, why she doesn't suggest, other references that you can follow so that you can learn, so that you can stay up to date. Because like I said, Facebook is constantly changing. So, that is, I feel like I have to, it was a very tough, when I say it was tough, it was a matter of like, oh, why can't I just tell people to buy my dang book and have them buy it? Legit question. We all feel like that. But once I got into it, I was like, okay, I'm getting better at this. This is getting easier. It turns out I actually like making images. I had a lot of fun with them. I was able to put in information that showed the humor in my books, and I kind of got into that. I'm still struggling with excerpts, but I got really good at pulling stuff out of my 5-star reviews that were almost better than my ad copy. Amazing reviewers, because people were talking about what they really connected with, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I worked backwards and make those into tags, and it was a really good class. A ton of technical information, a ton of really solid advice. This is someone who clearly is still selling her book. She is still primarily an author, which is important for me. That's the kind of classes I like to take. I like to talk with my peers about stuff that works for them. But she would say, sometimes she was very good about saying, for your genre, what are you doing? Let's talk about your book. What are your, blah, blah, blah. So overall, I consider this, I'm doing this review, and she doesn't know I'm doing this review. I'll probably send it to her afterwards. But this is not like, she didn't say, hey, can you do a review video on your YouTube channel? She doesn't know I have a YouTube channel. She doesn't, so I'll send it to her because I enjoyed the class, but this is not like she gave me the class for free and now I'm doing a video. This is just something, I want more content for my YouTube channel. But I would recommend the class, and I do that very hesitantly. I don't want people to come here and feel like, oh, once again, Nikki's pushing me to use some product because she's friends with the person. I like Michelle Fox. I don't really know her. We're not Facebook friends or anything, and in fact, I'm off Facebook. I will probably do a follow-up video once I actually start running ads. So because of the timing of this class, I am so far behind on my deadlines, and I did run an ad. I don't know if I said it in this video. I had another video that got deleted, and so I'm redoing it, so I can't remember. I did a one-day test, got some great results, sold books, so that was amazing, but killed the ad because babysitting that ad was such a huge distraction for me as I'm trying to get into this new book that, and then there's a Facebook boycott and all that. So I was like, you know what, let's just take this and let's just put this aside, this project aside. Let me catch up on this book. I'm going to continue to work on my ads in the background. I'm going to continue to work on my excerpts for my series. I'm pulling some books out of KU that aren't really selling their short stories and seeing, well, how can I use those in my, so I'm doing work. I just decided that babysitting a Facebook ad is not the best use of my time right this second. But I will probably, hopefully, if people are interested, do a follow-up Facebook ad in action class. Let's see what I'm spending. Let's see what kind of return I'm getting, what kind of images are working, all of that. So I might do that if people are interested. But in the meantime, if you have been eyeing one of these $1,000, $800, sorry, I got something in my eyeball, classes, I would really recommend that you start with this one. That's going to be my suggestion, because the skills that I learned will apply to all of the different advertising, and I feel like it's a very fair price. And I'd say that this, don't hear this part, Michelle, she could probably raise the price. So if the price goes up, I would still stand by it. But so that's my review. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Yeah, thanks, bye.